And get Twitch chat back. And then in 3, 2, 1, go. As we welcome you back to the Rift, ladies and gentlemen, for game number 2 of our Platinum League set between Randomed and Spartans. On the bottom side of the map, up 1-0, are going to be Randomed. In the top lane, Budinsko will be playing a little bit different matchup this game. It's the Shen. In the jungle will be Pooh on the Warwick. In mid lane, Josh Quest returning on the Annie. And in the bot lane, Sol making a return trip to the Ezreal, and Keo will be playing Sona.
And on the red side, we've got Ducky's minions playing Scion, Noctron in the jungle on Jax, Omni Hannibal on the Anivia that I mentioned, not necessarily related to him, but I did mention that last match. And we've got ourselves Blue Eyes, White Dragon, and Orbital on the Jinx Nami.
Hannibal didn't buy any items, so that's an unfortunate start.
That is.
I don't want to say I'm less hyped this game, but this top lane matchup doesn't intrigue me as much as the last one did. The Shen versus Scion matchup headed on to Dog Champs for the top laners. So if you're Spartans, you just had that 52-minute slobber knocker. How are you going to try to respond here in game number 2? Do you want to look to get a quick start, or just try to settle into game number 2 and play your own game?
Well, you definitely can tell that they're, well, maybe, I don't want to say definitely, but whether Hannibal is just being a little forgetful or just slightly shaken and forgot the whole buying step. Oh, apparently we had a DC at the start. Nice.
Yeah, probably a pause, but we don't have to be subject to that because we're watching on replay. So that's
the one advantage of replays.
Yeah, I think there's like one other, but yeah, that's pretty much about it. I would much prefer to cast live because we get picks and bans, but and also it just feels like you're actually a part of everything rather than just watching a hologram of the past. But
I know this is more of supposed to be my job or like my role as a caster, but as a Scion, what do you normally start level 1?
Not W.
Yeah, that's what I was.
Yeah, normally you start E and just go and yell at something at level 1, or you start Q and brush cheese. But yeah, the W is kind of interesting. I'm wondering if we're seeing a little bit different of a Scion, if he's gonna like max W or something interesting like that. I mean, that's probably the opposite of interesting, because that's just a bigger shield and more boring gameplay. But Pooh's here. Not able to connect, though, as Budinsko actually doesn't land the taunt, but it'll be just enough to pick up the first blood onto Pooh. The bite through from him was enough. Zombie Scion's doing a lot of damage, but not able to finish off Budinsko. But Ducky's committed his flash for that as well, so that means that, yeah, look, Warwick is still there top. He might look for a return trip immediately.
Ducky's base bought a refill, and, well, I mean, with his unfortunate base, he got himself a refill and 3 control orbs, so he's at least ready for it.
Yeah, I can't say too much because I've tied to that same gank too many times. The lethal tempo coming out of Blue Eyes able to help him chunk through a little bit there. They actually commit the exhaust in the trade from Orbital. Didn't look like they were able to pick up too much from it, though. And especially with Keo on the walking health pot that is Sona. But Orbital does, I guess, interesting to note in pick and ban, to take away the Nami this game from Keo. Forced him onto a different pick.
I haven't done much research on Keo, seeing if he's grown his champion pool, but back when we got to play with Keith, it was basically the Leona, the Nami, and the Karma. And I figured the Karma pick was a takeaway last game from Orbital.
Noctron finds Pooh in his jungle. Jax strangely winning the 1v1 against Warwick early on. Budinsko lands the taunt onto Ducky's minions. The keep Spirit's Refuge? Ugh. The Spirit's Refuge able to keep him topped off, but he does walk into the devastating smash. This is a boring top lane. I don't want to watch it anymore.
Yep, and Directed Camera's going to bring us up there a lot because they like fighting and top laners scrap and do almost nothing. Except for
Budinsko
save your mid laner.
Yeah, Budinsko is rushing a Tiamat on Shen, which is kind of interesting. So he's going to have that wave clear and try to keep up with the wave clear that Sion has.
Yeah, he did get kind of, I don't want to say handed the lane, but he got gifted at least a little free time early.
Yeah, able to get that pull-through damage on the Q as well. You can see the percent health actually starting to tick up. It's not like kill pressure, but it certainly is annoying as the Sion player.
We only have the... Okay, well, give me just 1 second since Ducky's just leveled up again. Ducky's is going for the W max on Sion.
I'll click back on him briefly, but yeah.
Yep, he's got 3 points in his W.
There's the
and
W.
The Soul Furnace, I think.
That's interesting. Noctron rushes the Bomby's Cinder on Jax. Do you like that play?
The Bomby Cinder plus Hunter's Pot, or whatever it's called?
Just the Hunter's Machete.
Hunter Machete?
Yeah.
No, it's Hunter's Potion.
Oh, the potion, yeah.
Yeah, the potion.
I thought you were talking about the machete, but yeah.
I mean, I guess that does make up for the not being able to get the talisman portion, but I don't know.
Kyo and Soul looking to get aggressive. The Flame Chomper's able to root up Soul, though. Kyo gets a lot of damage traded back onto him. The bubble lands, forces the Stand United out, but Soul getting aggressive onto the enemy AD carry. Soul's caught now on the opposite side as Noctron and Budinsko both here trying to make something happen, but Budinsko's able to pick up the kill. Flash forward from Soul as he secures the kill with the Mystic Shot, and that's a 2 for 0 in favor of Random.
So I know that you can hear the pings as I can, since who we got this from, but they're well-deserved pings or missing pings because on that gank, Noctron landed the stun on Kyo, backs off the kill to try and pick up a kill on Soul, and then that turns into an additional 2 for none.
Yeah, it looks like just a little bit disjointed there on the target that they were going for.
Whatever, it's early still. If you're, I know we said they outscale last time, but the Spartans, I think, have greater scaling this time. Maybe not necessarily quite the range that, like, the Xerath provided, but the Anivia was going to stall out any game. I don't necessarily know if the Jinx is a better AD carry, probably a worse AD carry in this meta, but she still is a late game hyper carry. If she gets a reset, she can pop off.
See, you say that. She's also up 20 CS on Soul's Ezreal right now.
Absolutely.
It's going to be about even in gold because of the kill and assist, but if you
and
can
Klepto.
And Klepto, yeah. But if you continue getting that CS advantage, if you can widen that just a little bit, you have to imagine that Jinx could almost look to solo carry the game at that point.
Well, after the I don't want to say it was a poor Varus performance, but lackluster might be the word I'm looking for. Just kind of was there, had some alright ults, just wasn't like, I guess, a hard carry like Hannibal.
Yeah, it didn't feel like that. Normally you think of late game hard scaling Rage Blade AD carries, but it didn't feel as strong of a performance from Blue Eyes. It's good to see him being maybe a little bit more comfortable on the Jinx pick. I don't know for sure. Again, we don't know a whole lot about champion pools or things like that from these guys. Jax is trying to solo the dragon. He gets spotted out by True Shot Barrage. Oh, he wasn't on the dragon. He was just on the Scuttle Crab. Sorry. I'm gonna pan up. Pooh's in top lane. Runs in using the Warwick speed boost. Gonna go ahead and land the Infinite Duress into the Shadow Dash from Budinsko, and that's a pretty clean tower dive as they pick up another kill onto Ducky's minions.
And Soul actually got an assist off that. If you didn't see that on directed cam, True Shot Barrage actually hit Sion.
The cross map assist from the Ezreal. That's why you pick him up. It seems like Randomed have really the super mega death rocket from downtown from Blue Eyes White Dragon able to connect. Meanwhile, Kyo's going to get chunked out as well. The flash forward. Blue Eyes now has a double kill. The tidal wave going to connect on Soul. Can they get down the damage using the rockets? Yes, they can. The triple kill. The cross map triple kill from Blue Eyes White Dragon on the Jinx.
Well, you just gave her hyper carry 3 kills. It might not necessarily feel as good once you get a couple items as you used to on the crit 80 carries, but you're still giving them a bunch of stats.
Anyway, we were talking briefly before the excitement happened there. It seems like Random have decided that this top lane matchup is going to be their big advantage. Budinsko over Ducky's minions, and they're putting a lot of resources into getting him ahead. I don't know that that's necessarily the right call, but it's what they've dedicated their resources to so far. And right now it's costing them on the other side of the map just a little bit. The Ocean Dragon almost gets stolen away by True Shot Barrage. This is going to be an exciting objective steal game, is it not? Infinite Duress comes through from Pooh. He doesn't have anybody with him, though. The Stand United not going to be enough to save him as Hannibal picks up his first kill of the game. That was a little bit of an overcommitment from the Warwick. You have to imagine that Budinsko's like, man, I can get you with that Stand United shield, but
He just got chunked by an empowered, or I guess it was an Anivia E that did like the last big chunk. Also interesting in the build, Pooh's going for, looks like a Triforce. Like,
so weirdly, Aziriously Lucky in the Gold League actually did a very similar build last week, 2 weeks ago. We'll have to see if it's inspired by him, but it was a Triforce Titanic Hydra into another damage item. I don't remember what it was.
So no jungle item, just like you had the machete and just sat on it?
Yeah, I don't know if they picked it up from somewhere, or if this is LeagueKC member sharing strats or something weird like that, but it's something I've seen before. It's kind of weird. So Hannibal's behind in CS right now, but should be able to pick that up using Anivia's, kit.
Yep. Naturally, Anivia will normally fall behind CS. Did a decent job for having no items for staying in the CS game.
Yeah, definitely not. You have to be missing a little bit of that mana regen from the Doran's Ring early on. Oh, the tidal wave coming through, as well as the counter-strike from Noctron. Kyo immediately goes down, just trying to D-ward. Pooh's in trouble as well. The Jinx actually are doing a decent tickle so far. The attack speed from Lethal Tempo and the Gatling gun is pretty ridiculous. Zap not able to connect onto Soul, though, because he's able to sidestep it out. Pooh is still here. And Josh Quest is waiting in the wings, has Predator available but no Flash. No Tibbers either. I guess we just didn't get to see Tibbers being used. That's okay. Thank you, directed camera.
Budinsko's looks like he's going to try and complete the full Titanic first item, rather than just sit on a Tiamat.
Yeah, normally you'll see the Tiamat into like a Sunfire Cape or a Spirit Visage or Adaptive Helm, just depending on the enemy team. But yeah, definitely looks like he wants that Titanic first. Should be, I guess your rationale there is just a little bit more shoving power into the Scion, because Scion's basically the wave clear tank, is I guess what you would associate him with. Plus having slight ability to poke using the, I want to call it Commanding Shout, but that's not what it is, because that's a Hearthstone card. Anyway, Josh Quest is going to... Roar of the Slayer, thank you. Josh Quest eats the Flash Frost from Hannibal. Now the... Tibbers is very mad whenever you kill Annie. Not able to pick it up, though. Tibbers does fall to Hannibal as well. So the solo kill in mid lane for the Anivia. And now Noctron and Hannibal beating on the mid lane turret. Trying to open up the map just a little bit. Stun does connect onto Pooh. He lands the Infinite Duress. plus the shield from Stand United as Budinsko comes in, lands the Shadow Dash. They're able to get the egg out of Anivia. Puwalk's just a little bit too far forward, and Noctron's able to pick him up. And now Budinsko just trying to finish what he started, but all they're going to get from that is the Anivia passive.
That Stand United was really difficult to see in that Anivia skin's ult, the Black Frost Anivia.
Yeah, the particles weren't there. All of a sudden, I just saw the Shen appear, and it's not teleport, so it's probably Stand United. But
I sort of saw the shield, but I was like looking. We have access to seeing all the cooldowns live.
Yeah. Meanwhile, it looks like Sol and Kyo just were forced to back. I don't know if they were low or if they just needed a back timing or something, but they lose bottom tower for it. And
Jinx is going home with 2,300. Well, she's not even going home yet. She's sitting on 2,400.
Yeah, I guess they're not quite wanting to lose that tower in exchange. They have mid towers super low as well because Anivia is just shoving. Budinsko's in a little bit of trouble now. Counter-Strike does land into into the unstoppable onslaught. Budinsko's locked up. He uses the Spirit's Refuge just to keep himself safe, and we'll be able to walk out. Pooh is here. I don't think he really wants any of this. He does have a lot of damage on the Warwick. Maybe he could burst somebody out. But regardless, Annie walked toward top lane to try to help, and immediately is going to pay for it. Oh, hits the Flash Frost. The Summon Tibbers, though, is doing a lot of damage now. Hannibal being chased down by the Annie Tibbers combo. Flash forward for the Q is able to land. Going to go ahead and pop the stopwatch. Everybody is stunned here. I can't really tell what's going on, but Summon Tibbers will pick up the kill. Orbital flashes forward for the Ebb and Flow kill. Now forced to run away is the enraged Tibbers into the Infinite Duress as Pooh picks it up. It'll be a 2-for-1 trade in favor of Random. Now Noctron and Ducky's minions just trying to beat on the top tower, but Budinsko able to channel that teleport and get up there to save it. Meanwhile, on the other side of the map, though, Pooh and Sol and Kyo are able to take the Earth Dragon. This is kind of nice. We're seeing the other set of dragons. We saw all air and fire in game number 1. Now we got the earth and the water. That's classy, right? Right, giving us the full complement of dragons across the games. Jinx has finished up the Runin's Hurricane, plus the BF Sword and the Berserker's Greaves. It's a lot of attack speed on the Jinx, plus the lethal tempo. As I'm talking about that, though, Exhaust comes through, Keel lands the Crescendo. Gonna force the flash away, though, as Orbital's here to try to back up. True Shot Barrage comes across, Sol goes aggressive. The reset, though, from Jinx means that attack speed comes through. He's able to clean up both of them. Now Pooh on the hunt, doesn't have Infinite Duress available, not able to connect on it. Now Noctron flashes in for the counter-strike, and Blue Eyes White Dragon has picked up 6 kills on Jinx.
It's another 2,500 in the pocket. I don't know if you go into another Zeal item. I don't really know what AD carries do, whether you pick up like this. Especially like Jinx, do you just buy an IE? Do you buy Storm Razor?
Most of what I've seen has been like Storm Razor into 2 Zeal items, but I don't... Or Storm Razor, Zeal item, Infinity Edge. Josh Quest is here. He uses the Predator plus the Summon Tibbers. He chunks out Noctron down to about 400 health. Smite coming through just to try to get rid of Tibbers. Takes him down to about 200, but no follow-up there, as it was just Kyo hanging out with Thisona. This is exciting gameplay. There we go. Anivia able to take down the top tower. The tower-pushing machine that is Anivia has taken 2 towers by herself. That's decent wave clear from that W from Ducky's minions. I still don't know that I like it, but, like, it could be worse, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, it's 11-6. It's going to be the kill count right now in favor of Spartans. They've got the largest lead that they've had so far in the series at about 4,000. where do you want to see them move next now? They've taken all the outer towers. I don't know about that death rocket. That was just to interrupt recalls, I guess.
I guess.
Do you want to see them put their priority here in bottom lane, or look at an early Baron? What do you think the call is from Spartans?
Oh, wow. Never mind. I don't know why I missed the Mountain Drake being taken. So anyway, to answer your question, if these guys want to stop scrapping.
It looks like Noctron's headed up there. The Stand United is going to be channeled just to try to run away. They don't have the stun available, though. So Budinsko will successfully run away to mid lane onto his Annie. Meanwhile, Sol and Kyo and Pooh are in bot lane. They all have nice short names so that we can layer them together. Good for them. But, yeah, not able to find a whole lot off of the run-in. Look at the warding that has been done by Spartans in that red side jungle. There's 3 wards pretty deep into it. Meanwhile, we're going to watch Josh Quest get jumped on. Counter-Strike going to land. Empowered Strike comes through as well as Noctron picks up the kill, but Budinsko's here to pick up the return. Actually, Empowered Tibbers picks it up. And Nivea's going to get away with her passive as well. That zap did so much damage. What was that?
Jinx is 4 levels up on Sona.
Yeah, I guess so.
Jinx is also level 13 right now, higher than her top laner.
Just trying to chunk down that bottom tower. Now Pooh is here. They're going to lock up. That's a good chain of CC so far. Still have Infinite Duress available. They're going to chain that on to Sona. Sol picks up 1, and the second one's going to go over to Pooh. Just a little bit of overextension. They have all of the wards available. Looks like they just timed out for the most part, though. So, but regardless, bottom lane just a little bit overextended there from Spartans, and they do pay for it with their bot lane's lives.
So anyway, QSS just picked up by the Jinx, so she can run out from either the Crescendo or the Tibbers or the Infinite Duress.
Unstoppable Onslaught coming through onto Pooh. He's chunked out pretty low. Has the ability to fight and maybe regen. The flash forward on the W from Ducky's minions, able to secure the kill. Now Budinsko's taken pretty low. They will pick up the return kill onto Sion. Now Zombie Sion just beating on Budinsko as he's trying to run away. Do they have the damage to finish him off? They do. Tibbers is just kind of trying to fight, but it's not really happening. Meanwhile, Kyo and Sol were able to pick up the bottom lane tower in the middle of all of that mess, so it's just going to be it's a 1-for-2 trade plus the tower in favor of random, so it'll be a slight gold swing in favor of random, all things considered.
It should be an easy Baron. Jungler's dead, and then you've got Jax, a Nivea, and a Jinx. Even without a Mountain Drake, you'll still tear through this Baron.
And Jax isn't the tankiest, so he's taking quite a bit of damage, but has Orbital there just to top him off. Hannibal able to grab the honey fruit to keep his mana up through all of that. And that will be the Baron going over. Oh, Josh Quest, that's a beautiful crystallize from Hannibal, trapping Josh Quest, forcing that flash out of the opposing mid laner. I think that's my favorite bit of Anivia's skill, is the ridiculous things you can do with crystallize.
Oh, that's really good Anivias where they just change your pathing nonstop and you just walk into a queue and feel like a dumb.
Budinsko and Josh Quest are here. They're trying to find Noctron. Tibbers is summoned. Not onto anybody, but was summoned. Meanwhile, they do pick up the dragon on the other side of the map. That Earth Dragon going over in favor of random. Now Orbital in a lot of trouble, but the tidal wave enough. Oh my goodness, Blue Eyes White Dragon is popping off. Double kill now for him as he's chasing down Sol. The zap, I believe that connected the Super Mega Death Rocket. Does. 200 health left on Sol. Does he get the auto to chase him? Has the slow on. Not going to be able to pick up the kill. But that'll be a double kill in favor of the Jinx. And 8 kills now on Blue Eyes White Dragon. Flash Frost connects onto Josh Quest as well. Plus the icicle that I don't really know the name of. Budinsko's going to get caught under the turret. It is Frostbite. Hannibal's going to pick up that kill. And now the Baron empowered minions are here in mid lane onto the inhibitor turret. Go the Spartans. Hooah. Also, Soul this game opted for the Iceborne Gauntlet rather than the Trinity Force that we saw him go last game. Do you like that decision based on the matchup?
I mean, the Jinx was ahead this time. Last time Varus was not necessarily ahead, and a lot of Spartan's team is extremely kiteable. So just the irritating soul, like it makes sense to me, but there's not a huge amount of damage. Like the Annie once again is not like Annie's not as behind as she was last time, but your top laner's not on a or a carry this time. Your Warwick sort of is, I don't know, a bruiser fighter.
He's building damage. He's got the Trinity Force.
Yeah, I mean, but once he gets that Triforce, and he'll complete his jungle item here, and then we'll probably go tank after a Titanic if the game lasts that long.
You'll have to see. It definitely feels like Spartans are in a pretty comfortable position here, up about 9,000 gold. Budinsko and Pooh trying to make something happen on Ducky's minions. He uses the Unstoppable Onslaught just to slow up the attack. He's not really taking damage here. Kyo's here as well, just to try to put down the damage. All 5 members should be here before too long, but now Orbital and Hannibal collapsing from the top. Decimating Smash finds one. They do just solo out the Nami. Ducky's minions trying to fall away, but oh my goodness, the Flash Frost over the wall, or the Frostbite over the wall, able to pick up the kill for Hannibal, who tries to re-engage with the Shadow Dash. They do get the egg. Now Noctron is just trying to frontline just a little bit. The Jinx has been taken out as well. This is a really messy fight, but it's going to go very slightly in favor of Random now, as Ducky's minions, the person who was initiated on is going to be the sole member left alive for Spartans as he uses the Blast Cone out to safety.
That wall from Hannibal, it kind of surprised. I thought first it was like, oh, the Nivea wall was used to pick the Scion as well, who was already caught out. And then I was like, wait a minute, Hannibal is on the Scion's team. That was an interesting wall placement.
Yeah, the interesting wall placement, plus it felt like the protection for Jinx just wasn't there. Blue Eyes wasn't able to get off that consistent auto attack damage. He got just blown up by the, I believe it was the Warwick and Annie damage, but maybe a Q or something from Soul as well. But
going back to Soul's build, the Iceborne is a cheaper item than the Triforce, and I suppose just while playing out of the deficit, you want to get your item spikes when you can.
So despite that fight, it is still a pretty commanding gold lead for Spartans. They'll just have to try to clean up that team fight a little bit if they want to take home game number 2. Next dragon's not for another 2 minutes. It's another ocean dragon, it looks like. So we're not going to have those neutral objectives ready to play for another little while. Budinsko's set up in top lane. Ducky's isn't there, but there's the Infinite Duress able to land on the Jinx. Has the cleanse available. Ducky's minions around the side is just destroying Josh Quest. Blue Eyes able to get off some damage finally over the top. Ducky's does solo out Josh Quest on the side, and that's 2 kills picked up now for Spartans as they push in toward the inhibitor. The Crystallize helping out quite a bit that time, though.
Yep. The lifesteal plus the Nami on the Jinx, like she was what, say 30% health or so after the Infinite Duress. Just casually walks back in full health.
Yeah, good item completion. I think the Mercurial Scimitar is actually absolutely the right item right now on the Jinx. Budinsko now trying to lock up Noctron, the counter-strike, able to lock up 2. Pooh just gets bursted out inside the Anivia ultimate, and Budinsko will follow. 2 more kills going the way of Blue Eyes White Dragon as they go on to the bottom inhibitor turret. They will take it down, and the inhibitor in their eyes right now. They're still 5 strong against 3. Josh Quest doesn't have anything available on the side. Kyo's just going to pay for it. They're trying to buy time, I think, for the summon Tibbers. Tibbers is available, but he doesn't get the stun off, so it doesn't matter. Big chunk of damage coming through now. Noctron able to finish it off, but Annie gets blown up in the process. It's just Soul left alive as their Nexus turrets are going down. Orbital uses the Tidal Wave to try to zone, but the Nexus in their sights. Orbital is going to stay alive. Noctron has the closing your game at the end of it, so that so that you can load into post game. I just thought it was kind of funny. Jack's walking off like, yeah, Nexus is gone. We're done here. Goodbye. So Spartans takes game number 2. That kind of exploded. Like we had the really strong early game for Spartans. They had that lull in mid game, and then it just kind of exploded into late game all of a sudden. Um, yeah. Who's your MVP? I think that there's really only one selection this game.
Yeah, it's gonna be Blue Eyes. The Spartans got behind like 4 kills, I think, right at the start. It was like they're down 0-4, and then it was a triple kill. Since we have advantage of the feeds, and I'd sort of skimmed through it briefly, I saw that triple kill because there was a bunch of bars all at once, and I'm like, oh hey, I bet you Shen just standing knighted, he came down. But in reality, it was, oh, I cross-mat sniped a Shen and then picked up a double kill.
Yeah, that was a really great death rocket from Blue Eyes. Definitely in attack mode this game. Those 3,000 attack points really showing through. We can make Yu-Gi-Oh references here. That'll be a tie series as we head to game number 3 between Randomed and Spartans. We'll be back in. We'll take like a 2 to 3 minute cooldown, and we'll be back with game number 3. Don't go anywhere. This is LeagueKC. My name is Meristematic. Casting with me is Wing Nation.